I'm a mess. Complete mess. Here we go. Since I need to go to work and can't stop crying, I'm just gonna let it out here. I'm AF25, was posting something on Reddit and this guy left a comment. At first, I ignored his comment. However, couple of days later I decided to text him just for fun. He responded. We texted for hours that day, and that's it. At least that's what I thought. I have talked with some guys on Reddit, and they all ended up leaving me. They were just there to have some fun and left. There was even one guy who deleted his account after texting me for a week intensely loudly crying face. But this guy, he just kept texting me. I was actually surprised, because I thought he would also leave me. We would talk about anything and everything. He is very funny. He knows how to keep a conversation going. He is very respectful to my boundaries, and I just know he's a very kind person. He makes me feel seen and appreciated. He makes me feel less lonely. We talked every day ever since. The thing is, we became affectionate to each other very quickly. We exchanged pictures, told each other about our days, teasing each other, having fun together virtually. We even made Spotify playlists together, which I thought really cute loudly crying face. Trust me, I very much enjoyed what we have. I was not thinking all of this as a residential flag for anything. I was really having fun and matching his energy because I do like talking with him and being with him. However, I also got scared because he recently broke up with his long-term girlfriend based on his story. I started to think that I would just be a rebound for him. I was also reading some Reddit posts about love bombing, manipulation, and it made me even more scared. With that doubt in mind, I decided to tell him that we should probably take it slow. He agreed. But I didn't know that his idea of slowing down was to cut me off. He became cold, not responding to my text. He turned to a very different person. I don't even know if I should keep texting him or not. I just know that this is not my idea of slowing things down. I am now anxiously waiting for his text back, but deep down my gut is telling me that he is not coming back. I know I shouldn't be selfish. I know he just got out of relationship. I'm not putting him any pressure whatsoever. I just thought we would still keep talking. I thought he was different. At least for a while. Now, he's acting like all the other guys I have met on Reddit and I'm here once again. Back to square one. I'm starting to regret what I have done. I don't know if I just sabotaged this connection, or if this is what's best for us. One thing for sure, I miss him so much and still really want to talk with him. I just hope he'll heal from the struggle he's going through. Find the happiness he wants and needs. For now, I really hope I can stop crying because I feel stupid crying for a guy that doesn't even care about me. This hurts so much and I really don't know I have gotten attached this much. Maybe I should even get out of Reddit for a while to forget him. Should I make the first move with a British guy? Long story short, I met this British guy through mutual friends. We've hung out in groups a few times, and I've noticed he seems to like me. He laughs at my jokes, gets all red and nervous when I'm around, and seems kinda shy. The thing is, I've tried organizing a few group hangouts lately, and he hasn't shown up, like, 3 times now. I know what you're thinking, he's just not that into you. And honestly, I've told myself the same thing. But one of my friends told me, why don't you just invite him out for a date? I said no, because in my culture, I'm Latina, girls never invite guys out, it's just not how things usually work. But she said that in the UK, it's totally normal for girls to ask guys out. So now I'm stuck wondering, should I open my heart and take the risk, even though we have a lot of mutual friends, and I'd totally die of embarrassment if it went wrong? Or should I just keep wondering forever what could have happened? I've known him for about 6 months now. What would you do? My partner's family is the biggest freak show and I'm done with them. My partner doesn't have the best relationship with his family, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt because they are related to my kids. At first everything was great and I thought they were all nice people. His dad is a total weirdo who passed out drunk on my couch and left at 8 AM with a hangover the next day the second time I'd met him. He only shows up at Christmas time unannounced and usually when my partner isn't home. His sister I had to block recently because she's useless. She had her first at 16 and my partner babysat her kids until they grew up. She quit her job 2 years ago and claims disability benefits so she can sit in her house and smoke weed. Despite all her free time, she has never once offered to watch our kids. Her younger son, 23, lives with her and never leaves his room. He has never had a job and is always asking my partner for money. She never asks how my kids are, and this year she didn't wish my son happy birthday. Meanwhile, she has no problem spamming me with YouTube videos and pictures of her dog. Most recently, she showed up at her mom's trying to hold and kiss my son in the mouth. He wanted nothing to do with her because he doesn't know her. My partner's mom has helped on occasion, but it's always on her terms and only if she feels like it. Even if I ask her well in advance, she will usually come up with an excuse day of, but then show up unannounced on a day of her choosing. She also gets mad when she texts to tell me she's free that day or she's already at mine and I have to explain I'm not home because I had plans. She goes on and on about wanting to spend more time with her grandkids but won't actually make the effort. This has been going on for 4 years. She also didn't wish my son a happy birthday this year. Then just this Tuesday it was parents' night at my daughter's nursery and I had asked her to watch the kids for 1 hour maximum. She was off and had agreed, but day of she said my partner's nephew would be coming to watch them instead. I asked her, not him, which brings me to the next family member. My partner's second nephew, E, is 26, unemployed his whole life, living off benefits, and has 2 kids of his own that he had at age 15 and 19. At least my kids love E and he's good with them. The first time he watched my kids was because my partner's mom cancelled last minute and I had a scan at the hospital and they forbade me to bring my daughter along. I pleaded with them but they said they wouldn't take me if I brought her. So E came, everything went fine, and I was home within the hour. That evening after putting my daughter to bed I go to heat up some dinner. My pizza, mac and cheese, and a few other things I'd bought the day before were missing. I looked again and again before calling my partner to tell him I had a bad case of pregnancy brain and had imagined buying all this food. He then asked if he had a backpack with him and told me he regularly steals food from his grandma's house. Fine, but if he was hungry he could have asked. I was heavily pregnant at the time. My daughter was sleeping, and I couldn't just get to the store to buy food. The next time he watched my kids, I made sure to make extra dinner for him. He later messaged me asking if I could get him a few things at the grocery store because he had his kids for the weekend and was out of money because he spent it all drinking the night before. I got him his grocery list knowing I wasn't getting that money back. Then 2 months ago my partner was paying E to help him with our new house renovations. My partner's Bluetooth speaker had broken and I happily offered mine. It went missing 2 days later and was never seen again. My partner pretended it never happened. Which finally brings me to today. I'd cut everything up for my soup and I go grab my block of cheddar but can't find it. After rummaging everywhere including the trash because it must be here since I used a tiny bit not 2 days ago. I remember he watched my kids because my partner's mom bailed. I feel like every time I'm the one getting put out of something I need. I'll add that I'm a Sam with no income. My partner pays the mortgage and house bills and insurance, but I use my savings for the rest. He also works abroad half the year, which means I'm on my own with no help for long periods of time. I'm just over being affiliated to his thieving and uninvolved family and want nothing to do with them anymore. Today I've decided enough is enough and I'm done with them. I think someone has been living in my house without me knowing. I live alone in a small 1-bedroom house. I work second shift, so I usually get home around midnight. The first weird thing I noticed was my kitchen chair being slightly pulled out one night when I came home. I thought maybe I'd just forgotten. Then it started happening more often. Little things. Cabinet doors open when I swear I'd closed them. My cereal box moved to the other side of the counter. The hallway light on when I never turned it on. I convinced myself I was just tired from work. Until last week. I walked in and there was a half-empty glass of water on the counter. I don't drink water out of glasses, I always use a bottle. I actually stood there for like 10 seconds just staring at it. No broken locks. No signs of a break-in. Then I started noticing it. My bedroom door being cracked open when I always leave it shut. The faint sound of footsteps at night, like someone walking barefoot down the hall. Always around 3:30 a.m. Yesterday I installed a cheap motion sensor camera in the hallway. Last night I woke up to the alert on my phone. The video showed my hallway light flicking on, and a shadow moving from the kitchen toward my room. Not fast. Just walking. Calm. But here's the thing that's messing me up the most. The door never opened. The camera never caught anyone entering or leaving the house. I checked every window and door this morning. All locked. No damage. Nothing missing. But the glass of water on the counter was full again. I don't know if I should call the police or a therapist. The day I learned my boyfriend can't keep a secret at all. My boyfriend decided to surprise me for my birthday. Except, he's the worst secret keeper on the planet. 3 weeks before my birthday, he casually asked, if someone hypothetically bought you concert tickets, would you want aisle seats or middle seats? I laughed and said, you mean the tickets you already bought? He panicked so hard he tried to pretend he was just doing research. Then 2 days before my birthday, he came home looking proud of himself and said, babe, don't open the freezer. Naturally, I opened the freezer. Inside, a cake box with a sticky note that literally said do not open until Friday. The final reveal came when we were driving to dinner and he blurted out, I hope the band plays your favorite song tonight. He froze, looked at me, and just went, pretend you didn't hear that. I've never met anyone so bad at secrets, but honestly, it made the night 10 times more fun. Sometimes the best surprises are the ones you see coming from a mile away. My daughter's imaginary friend knew things she couldn't possibly know. I don't really believe in this stuff. Or I didn't. Now I'm not sure what I believe. My daughter Emma just turned 5 last month. Around her 4th birthday she started talking about her friend Clara. Typical imaginary friend stuff at first. She'd set a place for Clara at dinner, talk to her while playing, normal kid things. My wife and I thought it was cute. But Clara was weirdly specific. Emma said Clara was 7 years old, had long black hair, and wore an old-timey dress with flowers on it. She said Clara was sad because she missed her mom. About 2 months ago things got strange. We were having breakfast and Emma suddenly asked why we took down Clara's picture. I had no idea what she meant. She insisted there used to be a picture of Clara in the hallway upstairs. We've lived in this house for 3 years and never taken down any pictures. Then last month my wife was going through some boxes in the attic looking for old baby clothes. She found a photo album that belonged to the previous owners. They'd left it by accident, I guess. Inside was a photo from 1982. A little girl, maybe 6 or 7, with long black hair, wearing a floral dress. Written on the back, Clara, age 7, summer 1982. My wife showed me and we both just stared at it. There's no way Emma had ever seen this photo. It was buried in a box under a bunch of other stuff in the far corner of the attic. Emma's never been up there. I asked Emma to describe Clara again. She described the girl in the photo perfectly. The dress, the hair, even said Clara had a tooth missing in the front, which you can see in the photo if you look close. We didn't tell Emma about the photo. We weren't sure what to say. A week later Emma told us Clara doesn't come play anymore because she found her mom. She said it so casually, like she was talking about a friend who moved away. I did some research on the house. Found an old newspaper article from 1983. A 7-year-old girl named Clara Bennett died in a car accident about 2 miles from here. Her family lived in our house from 1978 to 1985. The accident was in 1982, same year as the photo. Emma hasn't mentioned Clara since she said she found her mom. I keep trying to rationalize this. Maybe Emma saw the photo somehow and we forgot. Maybe it's just a weird coincidence. But the timing, the details, the way she described everything before we ever found that photo. My wife thinks Clara was real. That she was here and Emma could see her. I want to think there's a logical explanation, but I can't find one. Has anyone else experienced something like this with their kids? I'm not scared exactly, just really unsettled. If Emma could see Clara, what else can she see that we can't? Real truth about Labubu. A month or 2 ago, I bought a Labubu for my girlfriend's little sister. That damn thing ruined my life. We were at a convention, weaving through crowded aisles of overpriced merch when she spotted them. A wall of little monsters with toothy grins and glassy eyes. She froze, transfixed. Wanting boyfriend points, I bought 3. 1 for each of us. She squealed when I handed them over, clutching hers like treasure. The smile on her face made it worth every penny. It was wholesome. Cute even. For a while, I was into it too. Ads started following me everywhere. Collector editions, glow-in-the-dark variants, holiday exclusives. I bought a few more. They made me feel happy. I clipped a different one to my backpack each day. It sounds stupid, but looking at them gave me comfort. Like they were smiling for me. One afternoon, while walking to a cafe with my girlfriend, a homeless man lunged at us from nowhere. Filthy clothes, wild eyes. He grabbed my arm and screamed about angels and demons, spit hitting my face. Then, he saw the Labubu hanging from my backpack. He ripped it off with shocking strength, holding it away like it burned him. His voice dropped low, muttering in tongues before his body convulsed and foamed at the mouth. People screamed. I slipped in, grabbed my Labubu, and ran. The moment it touched my hand, calm washed over me. My heart slowed. The warmth returned. After that, something felt wrong. When I looked at it, I felt a quick flash of nausea, then the warmth again. Stronger, smothering it. I started to hate that homeless man. Hate him for touching it, for ruining something pure. The anger didn't feel like mine, but it lived in me anyway. My sister called a few days later. When I told her what happened, she said I sounded crazy. It's just a toy, she said. You're acting like it's your child. She didn't understand. She couldn't. Still, hearing her say that shook me. She's always been my anchor. If she thought I sounded insane, maybe I was. I hung up and looked at the shelf lined with Labubus. A dozen identical faces smiled back at me from the dark. The warmth was gone. What I felt instead was cold and heavy. That's when I decided to throw them away. I grabbed a trash bag, but the moment I reached for one, my body froze. Half of me screamed to toss it, the other half begged to protect it. Pain split my skull. I laughed and sobbed all at once. Then something snapped. When I came to, I was standing on the roof of my apartment building. I don't know how I got there. I've been avoiding my bedroom for days now, shielding my eyes when I pass the door. I'm scared of what will happen if I look at them again. I've searched online, Labubu nightmares, Labubu hallucinations, but everyone just says get help. I haven't slept in 30 hours. I can feel them whispering behind my eyes, telling me to smile. I'm not crazy. I was blind like everyone else, but now I see. They're not toys. They are totems. They plant joy to make you trust them. When you resist, they punish you. I'm going back in to face them. One way or another, this ends tonight. Story I heard and haven't forgot. I haven't really told anyone this, but I was seeing this guy about 5 years ago. Super logical guy, wasn't spiritual, whereas I've always been spiritual and fascinated in ghost stories, etc. And he told me a few stories that have stuck with me ever since. The first one was about some of his relatives who moved into this gorgeous old house. It had a huge dining room, the kind of room you'd want to show off, but weird stuff started happening. Lights would turn on by themselves, or they'd find things moved around when no one had touched them. Little stuff at first. They just shrugged it off, thinking maybe it was bad wiring or forgetfulness on their part. The wife would go for jogs around a park nearby, and every time she did, she'd see this same older woman sitting on the same bench every time. Eventually she said hello, and they got to talking. When the woman found out where she lived, she got this strange look and said, "Oh, that house. A lovely family used to live there. The grandfather took his life, right on the dining room table." After that, she obviously couldn't look at the house the same way again, especially the dining room. It was almost a sign for her to see this same lady every day, as a warning almost. I remember him telling me it was a very brief conversation they had that had left the wife unsettled after learning that. Her husband didn't believe her, but one night, they both woke up to a sound. A heavy creaking, like someone was pacing back and forth on the wooden dining room floor. He went downstairs, but when he got there, everything was still and silent. Except, the chandelier was slowly swinging back and forth. After that, they stopped using the dining room altogether. Eventually they moved out and obviously never looked back. Oddly enough, I remember him mentioning it was a well-known celebrity's grandparent who took their life on the dining room table, but I can't find any information or validation of that online, so that was either false or has been covered up. Then he told me another story, this one about the house he grew up in. It was an old family farmhouse that had been in his family for generations, and back in the 1930s, his great-uncle was just a little kid, playing outside with his brothers. Their ball rolled into the road, and he ran after it. His dad, who was working nearby, saw what was about to happen and ran to stop him, but it was too late. The boy got hit by a truck right in front of his dad and brothers, which is so tragic and devastating. But ever since then, every Christmas, there's this old photo of the boy they keep on the mantle. And every single year, without fail, it falls. No one touches it. It just drops. They say it's his way of saying hello. And honestly, even thinking or hearing it secondhand still gives me chills.
Defeat.